Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's topic is Pakistan-Afghanistan relations in context with the new wave of terrorism that has hit Pakistan. The statistics which was present inside Pakistan during the short tenure of Nawaz Sharif was a very calm Pakistan, but that ball has been hit out. Now today Pakistan is being hit with a very hard wave of terrorism, and it can be seen with the two major incidents that has been placed in Pakistan. To talk on this topic today we have in studios is Major Retired Ahsan Bashir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for granting us with your presence. First of all, sir, we have just known and we have witnessed a new wave of terrorism in Pakistan, with the KPK and Balochistan being hit with a massive one, surpassing the APS Peshawar attacks we have. There was 147 people killed, and right now 149 people have killed. What are your views about that first?
Thank you very much for asking. That's a very important question, and you're absolutely right that yes, Pakistan has been hit by another wave of terrorism, which is basically has not grown on the soil of Pakistan, but is being, projected like that way. But then it has all the tentacles, all the lines are going across the border from where basically this has emerged, and it has been brought back. Now there has to be a particular reason for doing it. Look at the timings, which is so important that these guys have selected. Pakistan is going into elections.
Exactly.
It's only 7-8 days
10
away.
Days.
10 days away. But then at the same time, see, they want to create a chaos and confusion in the country. They want to create that tall claims which Pakistan has, because Pakistan has fought this menace of terrorism across the world. For world, we have fought this menace. And Pakistan, alhamdulillah, has done great work into it. There's been huge sacrifices which Pakistan nation has given. It's not only limited to the security of agencies of Pakistan or the military alone, but the entire nation fought this war of terrorism. And then today we sit so calm and quiet. Suddenly this wave comes in, and these unfortunate incidents which you were mentioning, they have again gripped Pakistan. So there a lot of questions basically arises in one's mind as to why this is happening, why this is coming back to Pakistan, why Pakistan again is selected for this thing. There has to be a reason for doing all this. One is the presence of obviously the government of Afghanistan, which is firstly, I would say that it's not a credible government sitting in Afghanistan, because a government in Afghanistan which does not rule or more than 40% of its territory cannot be credible. So that is one reason that the credibility of the government of Afghanistan is not there. Though Pakistan interacts with the government of Afghanistan, wants to help Afghan government out there. They want to go for peace talks with the Afghan Taliban, with the government. They want to process it. Even now, the US even is trying to support. They want to go out now today. Pakistan has been always telling them that, look, reality should be accepted, that Afghan Taliban is a reality. They are on ground. You need to bring them into the mainstream. But you have been avoiding them. You have been offering them only the peace talks. You have offered them to have a ceasefire on Eid. Yes. The ceasefire on Eid was offered to them, and they did accept and all that. But then at the same time, once again you neglect them, then obviously, so one has to see these things from that angle.
From their angle you talk about.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, this is an angle that why Pakistan at this particular time is again being this war on terror wave has been brought back. Now there has to be not only Afghanistan, I would not say is only involved into it, but there are certain other things also into it. There are certain other countries also involved in it. They basically might be using the platform, the soil of Afghanistan to hatch all these conspiracies which are there. The financiers, the supporters are there, and then ultimately the target end is Pakistan.
Right. Welcome back. So starting from the timing, as you just mentioned, so the timing can be said that, or can be assumed that since Nawaz Sharif has been out of the leadership right now, and can we say that since Nawaz Sharif was inside the party of Pakistan, or was inside the democratic government of Pakistan, we can say he was quite pro-Indian? Because when we see that Modi used to come inside Pakistan, there were surprise visits, then Nawaz Sharif used to go over there, and then Siraj was coming inside Pakistan, having free trips to Murray eventually. So can we say that keeping Nawaz Sharif out has been a cause of this wave attack?
I think this should not be, except for this, that Nawaz Sharif ouster is not the only mere cause. but there are certain other things as well linked. I would go for a step ahead basically on this, and I would say that economics has to do a lot of it is linked to it. Pakistan-China economic corridor and Pakistan's takeoff towards that particular angle and taking off a Godspeed, getting stronger and stronger with the confidence building measures which was taken by Pakistan by providing the outside investors, a congenial and atmosphere in Pakistan, was bringing a lot of investors from outside into Pakistan. So that is one reason that all these things. And the timing, why I say is not only limited to ouster of Nawaz Sharif, and I personally would be my own personal view that I would not like to say that everyone is patriot and everyone has the patriotism. Every Pakistani is a patriot Pakistani who lives on the soil of Pakistan, and that's what it is. But then at the same time, why Pakistan is being brought back into this wave of terror at this particular time are two basic reasons for that. One is to contain and hold Pakistan from taking that takeoff on its economic growth, one. And second is to malign Pakistan's tall claims that yes, we have absolutely clear and free ground now for everyone to come in, and it's a peaceful country again, and we will not allow anyone to come in.
So the porous border, this is a step ahead you just talked about right now, and how the two elements you have just talked about. But if we see a little bit, I think day before, we have seen Iranian chief coming here and talking to and giving condolences on the Afghanistan, giving condolences on Balochistan and KPK, and also the telephone call of I think that was the chief minister, yes, the chief minister of Afghan president called the chief minister and, Afghan president called the COS Qamar Bajwa and Nasir Mulk, yes. So do you see any sort of nexus them between the two, so that Pakistan should not react towards whatever happened from the territory of Afghanistan?
Pakistan is developing relations with Iran also is very important, and you must have observed that in the recent in the recent past, we are getting very close to Iran. And Iran and Pakistan's relations are not only, it's time tested, but if you remember that Iran is that particular country which recognized Pakistan right on in 1947.
Yes, exactly.
It was the first Muslim country. And
though Afghanistan, we did not accept it at that moment.
At that moment, yes, exactly. But then, see, we are trying to get closer to everyone in this region, because the regional peace, which is basically important for all the stakeholders in this region, which is like two superpowers of this region, and so maybe superpowers of the world in times to come. That is China, Russia, Iran itself, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And other than Pakistan, these 3-4 countries, there are so many other important countries like Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, yes. They are all into it. So if we make a bigger canvas and go on to see these things, that now where does Pakistan's situation stands and what are the stakes now for Pakistan, then the things are very clear and different. Pakistan is being targeted through the presence of the outlaws which are being fed on the Afghan soil. The IS is a reality in Afghanistan, you know that.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Who backs IS in Afghanistan? So who would be scared by presence of IS just sitting next to our border? It's not only Pakistan who would be, really be targeted. It will be certain other countries as well, and they also would be affected by all these things. So that is which makes it very important, and the role of Afghan government not to allow over 17 consulates of India which have got nothing to do, and all along the porous border of 2,600 kilometers. There's no reason for all these things. However, these are no justifications for not controlling or having peace in our own country. We need to see an inward view also we need to take, where we are defaulting, where we are there are loopholes. We need to bridge all the loopholes. Pakistan needs to do more. Well, we are ready to do more, and that is what we are doing. We are going to have a peaceful elections in times to come. We are going to have a democratic process going on. We are going to have a strong democratic party in power, which will deliver to the general public of Pakistan. I think this is the view, and we need to go and see from that angle as well. And if I go on to that, I think the time for your program will fall short.
Welcome back. Sir, we talked about IS right now, that IS is a reality. So we talked about how there is going to be other elements also which are going to be affected. First of all, I need to talk about exactly, is Pakistan's IS next target?
Well, that is where I was saying, and I would like to know your view also on this, and just being a patriot Pakistani, as to, are you fearful now? No, you are not. But then whenever you hear with presence of IS, and all those who are familiar with this particular word of IS, then they it really brings in a shock wave into that. Oh.
Then we can't say, sir, that IS is actually not present inside Pakistan, because some factions of IS has been present in southern Punjab also.
Well, there are two things in this. One is that once you know that one particular organization is having a place in that, they have an area under their control, and like no more area was there in Fatah.
Exactly.
One is that where you have a credible evidence that yes, presence of such like organization is there. This is one thing. And then you have a different methodology to tackle it and clear it and all that. The second is that where these the organization, it does not land on your particular ground, but they remain in a very close vicinity of your land where they have to operate. Now basically IS is a reality in Afghanistan. It's not a reality in Pakistan, but since they are settled, or they are being placed in a very close vicinity of Pakistan,
exactly.
and across the porous border, that means that it looks like that whenever it's a free border as yet, except for 30 kilometers.
As yet, but we are talking about that 2018, by the end of 2018, the Durrand line might be, according to some people, it might be really sealed and it will shut off. So would that be reality or no? Because since you are...
That will be reality, and I'm sure that that is what is basically fearing them as well, and that is why they want to gear in and they want to go back. They want to have their own harbor points in Pakistan once again. They want to have breeding places in Pakistan, which Pakistani government and Pakistani nation and Pakistan agencies are not giving them that place to do that. So that is making them, you know, a bit...
so Pakistan's, all the agencies, all the organs of the establishment and the institutions...
They are fully aware.
They are on one consensus, right?
Absolutely. They are fully aware of it. They are on one consensus that yes, we do not want to have this menace on our territory. What to talk of Pakistan on our territory? No one in this region wants this menace to be there in their countries as well. That is why you are seeing a close interaction between Iran, China, Russia and Pakistan. Because there is a, you know, there has to be a concept being developed now, which is being developed shortly, that where a policy of these regional powers and others will come up as to how we do want to tackle IS. And we want to contain IS in Afghanistan and then kill them out there and wipe them out from this. After Syrians, you know, they have been moved towards Afghanistan. From Syria, they have been moved up and down from there. So if in case from Syria, after getting free from Syria, if they are moved into Afghanistan,
one can suspect, one can assume.
It's so clear that who is trying to do all that. If America is trying to play a dirty game now in Asia and trying to contain China, and in that wake they already they feel that they have they beated Russia in the Cold War by having Pakistan as their ally.
I would suggest a little off way to how exactly they did beat it of Russia or not, because that's a perspective one. Yeah. But since my time is running short, I would just ask you and request you, give me a one-liner. What exactly will be the situation inside Afghanistan in the context of exactly having the elections inside Pakistan right now?
I think the enemies of Pakistan are gearing up there. They would like to disturb the situation in Pakistan. There can be a wave of more people coming in and trying to disturb this whole thing, and they want to cash on this particular time. But then, having said all this and having known their intentions very clearly, for which they have exhibited practically on ground by having these 3 incidents, unfortunate incidents in Pakistan already, Pakistan is now fully aware of that, and Pakistan should counter them on their territory and we should not allow them to come and then be handled in our territory.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. That was a pleasure having you in our studios.
Thank you very much.
Pakistan can do much more better by looking inwards and looking after the loophole that has been created. Pakistan needs to do much more in sense that it needs to create all its institution and organization onto one single board and having one single consensus. Thank you so much for today.